So welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. Of course, we're still discussing gender-based violence, and this morning we're going to expand the conversation to find out, the youth perspective on respect, responsibility, and equality, of course. And to help me do that this morning, I want to welcome Ashlee Burnett. She's the founder of Femin TT. She's the founder of Feminine TT, and she's an activist. Good morning, Ashlee.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I had a chat this morning just now with Dr. Mohammed, and he was giving us some historical aspects of why he thinks that society has gone astray, especially the men in society, and how it's been impacted coming down the line, right? But I want to ask a very simple question of you. As a young woman residing in Trinidad and Tobago, do you feel safe?
No, I don't.
What would make you feel safe?
Right. I think the most important thing is a change of culture. Because even if if the state improves its machinery, there are all the policies put in place, that's not going to stop someone from committing an act, or the way that they view women as property, or think that, they are entitled to someone's body to do what they do. I mean, all the reports have shown like over 416 women are missing, 47 women killed this year. And I mean, there are things in place, there are a couple of things in place, but our culture is something that does not facilitate the implementation of that, or rather prevention, because of the way that we see things. So that is something that will definitely have to change, the way that we see women, also the culture of thinking that we have to mind our business and, not see certain things and not report. And that contributes to people turning a blind eye, to not giving that warning signal to women and persons.
That's a lot. That's a lot to change. The whole culture is difficult to change.
Yeah, it is, but it's not impossible, because, I mean, there are organizations that are working with students, like in the school, and I think that's something that has to happen from early. Like, we're already grown, there are already so many people that are kind of like stuck in their ways.
Right.
But I definitely think it can be transformed if we teach about gender-based violence from the primary school level, at least sensitizing students to understanding what this is and how they can make an individual change to transform our culture. It will take a lot of time, but it's not impossible.
Do you think that those same young people, do they feel like they actually matter in the conversation on gender-based violence?
Right. So I don't think that we are like asked to speak on things. We're invited for consultations, but what happens after that?
Right.
Because something must happen after the consultation. We have to move beyond, okay, let's just invite youth for a youth perspective, but actually invite them on to say, okay, how do you think we can change it? And even after that, actually try to implement the things, because youth are also affected by this. Everyone's affected by gender-based violence, whether a bystander or someone that's directly being affected. And I think that they need to be have to have more meaningful engagement that goes beyond consultation.
Now, personally, in your sphere, how have you promoted the change of the narrative in your organization and amongst your friends and that kind of stuff?
So, at Feminine, we're big on trying to educate persons. There are people don't understand what gender-based violence is or what constitutes gender-based violence. And so in order for people to understand what that is, we have engaged in campaigns and trying to inform persons as to what gender-based violence is, how they contribute to it, how they could not contribute to it, and to, start that conversation so people at least will be sensitized to the issue and know that how they themselves can make a change.
Well, tell the viewers, how would you define gender-based violence?
Well, it's in the word.
Right.
Gender-based violence is violence that's perpetuated against someone because of their gender. And so because of traditional gender stereotypes, so for example, women are supposed to be in the home cooking and not to be doing hard work, and men are supposed to be the breadwinners going out and doing things. And so you see sometimes women, because of their bodies are hypersexualized. They are, if you look at these statistics, 1 in 3 women will experience physical or sexual abuse in their lifetime, right? 1 in 2 women will experience intimate partner violence. And so it's really, really a scary disparity. And even child abuse constitutes a gender-based violence, because of course you see how boys and girls can be affected differently because of their gender. So that's how I will define it.
Do you believe that men are to be protectors?
I believe humans should protect each other. Those traditional gender norms and the way that people kind of phrase how we're supposed to operate in life. I think that's very, very harmful. And so men being like said that they're supposed to be protectors, or at least how society has framed it, makes them feel, okay, if I be a protector, I have to be hard all the time. I can't be soft, because if I show softness, then it's weak and I can't protect you. But protecting and caring and experiencing emotion is a human thing. And I feel like we're supposed to protect each other.
Okay, that's fair. Sometimes I feel like we can protect, but still be soft. You don't always have to be hard to be able to protect, because sometimes you wrap things in bubble wrap. Bubble wrap protects, but it's not very hard. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
So I feel like we could find a nice balance, and I think that's what's missing in society, is that balance of understanding. Yes, you can have emotions, and yes, you can display them, and you can still be a man at the same time.
Yes.
And you can still protect at the same time. But Ashlee, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning and for sharing your perspective on this topic of gender-based violence that we're going to continue to discuss further and further on the show, and hopefully we can get some sort of resolve or get the ball rolling in a particular direction. You know what I mean?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, Ashlee Burnett. She's the founder of Feminine, and she's also an activist, and she's definitely fighting on behalf of victims and survivors of gender-based violence.